Well, we apologise for that short break in transmission, but you haven't missed much action. It's only been a quarter of a lap, and it's still Madison Down leading over Vale Ritchies, Justin Ruggier, Josh Muggleton and Shane Van Gisbergen for your top 5. But this is the Iracing V8 Supercar Series, round 4 from Watkins, Glen, 25 laps. And with thanks to Extreme Sim Gear, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercar Fan Group, you get to catch all the action here on V8sonline.
Having a look further back in the pack at the moment, 7th and 8th. You've got John Emerson, last week's round winner, and Renz Brookman now having a nice little battle.
Speaking back in the pack too, we spoke that Scotty McLaughlin joined the server. He hadn't done a qualifying time, started back in 22nd place, already finds himself in P13, so not doing a bad job carving up through the field.
Yeah, he's on the back of Richard Hampstead there, so Richard's obviously a long way down from where we normally see him, qualified in 18th position. So Renz Brookman now having a look up the inside into turn 1. Renz later on the brakes, can he pull it up though? Up the inside, job done.
Oh, it's close on exit there though, but Emerson was nice enough just to give him a little bit of real estate there, because it could have been quite ugly if Renz had just caught the front of Emerson's car. But nice bit of driving, nice move to actually stick it up the inside there under brakes.
Had our first retirement of the race as well. Mitchell McLeod caught up in that earlier incident, just left the service. There's our first DNF of the night.
Yeah, it's a shame. Mitchell, I think he would have wanted to be caught up in that incident, but unfortunately it's race over for him. But still not lost though. It's Iracing's got plenty of weeks of points championships available, so all not lost for the championship.
Have a look further up front. Vale Ritchies actually caught Madison down by 2/10 in that last lap, so maybe starting to reel the gap in now that the tyres have come up to temperature.
Yeah, interesting point. All these guys will start with race pressures, and sometimes it just takes quite a few laps. Every car's different according to driving style, but depending on how he's got his pressures set, it may just take that little bit longer, but it really looks like that car's coming to him. A 50.8 last time round for Vale compared to a 51.0 by Madison, so not a bad job.
Michael Fabian, the other Clockers Australia Orange and Blue Falcon there, just a little bit behind John Emerson.
So these guys just starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. It's only lap 5, so still 20 laps to go. And don't forget the pit stops that will come into play too. Everyone will probably decide to take them at different stages. I know some people have gone for that early stop, where other people have gone for the halfway mark. So we'll wait to see how all that unfolds over the next few weeks.
And I got to say, managed to catch the first race, and those pit stops really made it interesting, with some guys taking 2 tyres, some taking 4, and some even taking none. And the back end of that race earlier tonight was absolutely fantastic.
On screen now, Brad Ryan having a nice little battle. Looks like Michael Fabian just in front of him. So Brad Ryan in the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon, not a bad return. He's been away for a couple of weeks, but finds himself inside the top 10. So he'd be fairly happy with that, but he's got a good little battle on his hands with Michael Fabian.
Yeah, and hasn't Michael Fabian really stepped it up since last season? He's been showing his, popping his head up in the top 10 pretty consistently now, and really starting to, I think, be getting close to challenging these front guys.
It's interesting you say that, because you're not the only person that's mentioned that. Yeah, everyone's been keeping an eye on the young man. He's doing quite well, and you know, always good when you start punching inside the top 10 of the top split. It certainly hasn't gone unnoticed. This little battle up here, George Barris, all over the back of Shane Van Gisbergen. Normally we see Shane start to pull away and start battling up front, but hasn't quite got the car underneath him maybe at this stage, and getting plenty of pressure there from George Barris.
Yeah, former teammates these two as well, so I don't think it's anything too crazy, but it does look like Maris might just have a little bit of pace over Van Gisbergen. It was only a 10th on the last lap.
Looks like our first lot of drivers coming into pit lane 2 back there.
Speaking of time, Val Richards has now got the gap to under a second on Madison Down. Lapped about 4 tenths quicker than that last lap.
So in pit lane, John Emerson, Brad Ryan, let's see who else, Sean Kelly, John Latham, the first lot to hit pit lane for the first round of pit stops.
So this is an early strategy, this one, but it can pay off later when you're going to have the track position.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Talk about the fresh tyre gain. You can definitely jump the car, but if you're in quite a battle, like we were talking about with Shane Van Gisbergen and George Maris, if you find a way you just can't get past, sometimes it's so much easier just to get that pit stop over and done with, and you know, go for a quick stop without tyres, or go for tyres and get that fresh tyre gain. I'm just hearing reports that Hampstead may have some damage to the front of his Falcon.
Yeah, he is. He's got a little bit straighter now. Looks like he's got to run at the back of somebody. Obviously, maybe he had a bit of a nose-tail contact with someone as he worked his way through the pack.
Have a look at this battle on screen. George Maris and Shane Van Gisbergen, and this isn't over yet. George looking very pacey. Got nice turn in through there. Looks like he's got plenty of front end grip. Probably would be starting to think whether he could maybe make that early pit stop to see if he could jump Shane.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know, with Emerson and Ryan and the co just doing the pit stop, how many guys do you reckon are going to come in now and try and counteract the undercut that those boys are trying to do? Because, I mean, if you stay out there, you get better tyres at the end, but you're going to lose the track position, have to fight for it further on. As we look now, we got... Oh, Marco's hit Roger in the pit lane! Oh, big contact. Well, he came in a little bit too hot, and he's just run at the back of Ruggy. Hopefully they don't have any damage, because it's going to hold them up. Rens Brookman's also in the lane now.
So come in too, so if we can, we'll try and get a bit of a replay of that incident in pit lane.
And Mulgison's also dismissed his pit box, so that's going to hurt him as well. Just getting reports, actually, that Justin Rogier might even have a stop and go penalty for exceeding the pit. It looks like he does. Ruggy's going to have an exceeding pit penalty, exceeding speed rather, pit penalty after the contact with Mowerton.
Oh, that'll take him out of contention. He was on target for a podium position back in P3, but now looks like he's got a penalty.
Yeah, that was about a 15-second hold there, so nothing he could do. He got rear-ended, but oh man, you got a feel for him. He's dropped way back in the pack now.
Yeah, absolute innocent bystander, just unfortunately got caught up. Muggo made contact with him, and that's possibly where he got the speeding infringement, so bad luck.
We go back to the cars and haven't pitted. Matthew Hill trying to make his way through the pack after that first lap spin, and just ahead of him Marty Atkins and the CST OSR Falcons.
Two great battles up front, Madison down Vale Ritchies and Van Gisbergen and Maris. That hasn't finished yet. Maris all over the back of Van Gisbergen, but Madison's definitely got his hands full. That margin is really closed up. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys decide to peel off and get their pit stops done. Looks like Madison's hitting the lane, that's right. Vale Ritchies has also decided to come in too. Van Gisbergen stays out, Maris stays out.
Looking now for Michael Fabian, who also going to stay out this lap. What about McLaughlin? McLaughlin's made his way up into the top 10 now also.
He's blitzing it. He started back in, was it 22nd position, and now he finds himself, obviously with the pit stops taken part, he finds himself in the top 6, so not a bad job.
Yeah, he's actually going to be 4th there at the moment with currently. Obviously the pit stop's still going to play out. Just like...
We're getting reports maybe Marty Atkins may have got a speeding penalty. So there's so many different variables as far as, you know, making sure you hit the pit lane speed limiter, making sure you get that right, but so easy to sometimes just maybe double hit the button twice and it doesn't quite engage, but he's back underway. Maybe he's left with everyone else, so maybe he hasn't got a penalty. This battle up front, Maris having a look up the inside of Van Gisbergen, can't quite get the job done. Shane just gently closes the door on him. I think it would have been a good idea for Maris to pit that last lap round, because he could have got that jump on Van Gisbergen. Yeah,
I was about to say, you know, these two are going at it, but if I was Maris, I'd probably try and duck into the pit lane and get the undercut, which you'd think that Van Gisbergen will now come in this lap, and interesting if Maris will stay out or not. I mean, I'm only speculating that Gisbergen will come in because most of the front guys now have cycled through.
Yeah, you can't afford to give too much time away as we ride on board with George Maris, but we will see the guys peel off, just see as they come through this left-hander, come into the final right-hander, and this is the last turn before pit lane.
So it's a tight little pit entry, isn't it, too? But you come around here and you run out wide, they're both going to stay out as well.
Oh, Maris, I would have loved to have seen Maris to come in just to see if he could get that jump, but he's obviously pretty comfortable with his car and thinks he probably will get Van Gisbergen on track.
Yeah, maybe these two are just having a little bit too much fun out there in the battle at the moment. Neither of them wanting to pit and give it up.
So this battle, up front, Madison down. He's our overall leader. Obviously, we're still waiting for pit stops to cycle through. So, but realistically, it's Madison and Vale in first and second, but so many things can play out. We've already seen pit lane dramas where people have got penalties and little contact, and so it's not over yet. A little back further through the field, Richard Hampstead, he's already got his pit stop over and done with, but he's got to keep a close eye on that rear view mirror. The V8 Supercar fan group, Falcon of Sean Kelly, just slowly starting to reel him in, and it's not the sort of pace we expect from Hammer.
No, I mean, I've heard from the first race he's been a little bit busy with real life commitments and studies and such, so maybe not as much time to get out there and practice this week. And just looking back now a little bit further, actually, Justin Ruggier quickly, looking at Maris there as well. Ruggie has fallen back to 16th place now behind John Latham after that speeding penalty.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. Obviously, the pit stops haven't all played out yet, but he was on target for a top 3 position and now 16th. But we're going to have a look at this battle up front, possibly with Shane Van Gisbergen and George Maris. Maybe see him peel in. I think if I was Maris and Van Gisbergen stays out, I'd be in.
No, they're both staying out again.
Wow. It's interesting, isn't it? It's lap 10 of 25 and they're still punching out these numbers.
I reckon these boys are having too much fun in this battle at the moment, but or I reckon they might even be trying the obviously the latest stop strategy, but you got to say, I mean, the track time they're going to be giving away, they really have the speed to catch up to the front guys with the fresh tyres at the end, would you reckon?
Well, it's definitely something that can play out. There's still a number of guys that have still have yet to stop. There's 6 cars: Shane Van Gisbergen, George Maris, Michael Fabian, Scott McLaughlin, Samuel Collins and Matty Hill. Now, obviously, one thing that could play into this too is that if they just decide to put in just fuel, they could have a shorter stop.
True. Oh, Maris there has cut the chicane. Hope he doesn't get a slow down there. Tell you what, I thought he was going to have a shove it up the inside there at the bus stop. He come in. They both come in there on the edge. Van Gisbergen did well to pull that up.
Check out the replay there. Just like you said, so easy to make contact. You don't want to dive bomb there and not have the other guy know that you're going to make that move, because that could go south for both of them. So nice job.
Now on lap 11, you'd have to say they're going to have to start thinking about pitting. And if they're going to take tyres anyway, unless, like you said, they take just fuel, that's going to obviously, you'd think, cut the time down. But they're going to be hurt at the end of the race as well.
Yeah, all these guys know they work out their fuel mapping through the week. They know exactly how much they need to take on, so they won't take any more than they need. These guys, Maris looking up the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen, does the job. Nice move, holds the line and gets power back down. Nice position over Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane just ran it wide and Maris dived up the inside. Now Commentators is giving it a job. He's gone. Maris is off. Contact between Shane Van Gisbergen and George Maris. Maris in the centre of the racetrack.
He has to watch out now when he's reversing. He almost got collected by Michael Fabian. And Gisbergen's in the lane now as well. Maris will have to come in. Looks like he's got damage.
Shane Van Gisbergen just bent to the back of Maris and round he goes. Couldn't gather it up and fires straight into the tyre barrier.
Man, can you believe that? Maris worked so hard to get that position. Finally gets it done and then finds himself in the fence. Oh, you got to feel for him after that.
Heartbreaking stuff. Like you said, he did everything right. He was patient. He got the job done, only to get tagged the next lap round, next corner round, I should say. So, yeah, real bad luck there for Maris, and that will fire him down the field now.
Now Van Gisbergen's been released from the lane. Look how much time he's lost. There are cars just driving past him on the racetrack. exits the lane now. Trying to find out where he's going to pop back in. It's actually behind Ruggier, so two of our front contenders now find themselves in the mid-pack after separate incidents.
Wow, interesting how this is all played out. Still a couple of cars yet to make a pit stop. Michael Fabian, Scott McLaughlin, they still haven't made their stops now. So just trying to see if Matty Hill has... No, Matty's still out there too. So Madison down is your overall race leader. He's sitting back in 6th place at the moment. So still waiting for the rest of this to unfold. But, well, we were just talking about how anything could happen. And sure enough, the contact between Shane and George Maris.
Yeah, like I said, it's absolutely heartbreaking. He did everything right. We had so much pressure on Van Gisbergen for so long. And then the corner after he passed him, Van Gisbergen just run at the back of him and spin him out was... less than ideal, but they're both back out there now, and looks like Madison Downs on the back of Hilly.
Don't forget, while you're watching this, good time to bring it up, don't forget to check out our website and Facebook page where you can vote for your best and fairest driver of this round tonight at Watkins Glen. And that driver will go into the chance to win a ticket for the Race Centre's Race to Reality competition. And also the person who places a vote also goes in the chance for running for a ticket as well. So really worth your while to jump on and play for some vote.
Got Karina and Watmore at the moment having a bit of a battle side by side into the second last corner. And yeah, just back on the Race to Reality thing, Sam, and that is, as I said earlier, it's such a great little event they've put on, and you know they've done well, and obviously V8sonline will be broadcasting it on Wednesday, and I'm actually looking forward to get back out there myself in that little Legends car. It's a lot of fun.
It's not a bad inspiration deal, is it, when you know you've got a chance of racing an Aussie race car around Homebush. It's a really great incentive, and a big thank you to everyone at Race Centre for putting that deal together. The Race to Reality is an exciting competition, and it's definitely got a lot of people talking.
Matthew Hill. Sorry, go on, Sam, man.
No, we were both to say the same thing. I think Matty Hill's just had his fair share of dramas. Just trying to work out whether he's had his pit stop or not. I'm not sure if he has.
He still hasn't pitted. I think he just got out of the way. His tyres look a little bit worse wear at the moment. I wonder if he's going to... I haven't done any laps here this week, so I'm not sure if a no stop is possible or not, but...
Oh, yeah, I think you need 20-odd litres to make the distance, so
okay.
You'd be pretty brave to save that much fuel. Unfortunately, he got caught up in that first lap incident, but yeah, we'll have to see how it all unfolds for him.
Yeah, I'd say he's just trying to pit a little bit later and have a charge for the pack on the fresh tyres. You've got Karina here and Cal Watmore side by side again. These two having a great little battle.
Yeah, Cal got up the inside. No, just thinks better of it.
Oh, but Karina's a bit deep.
Oh, they're going to go side by side again, but Karina's going to have the inside line here. So Cal just needs to... Oh, don't run too wide. He's going to give up another spot to Collins. Collins having a bit of a look.
I think Collins is on fresher tyres too, so he's going to have the drive out of this corner. No, backs out of it.
Oh, Cal doing an amazing job in the Hyper Simulator Falcon. He's definitely got a lot of pressure. I think he was so focused on getting the job done with Carino, he forgot to look at his mirror, and there's Collins ready to snap him up.
Can now say that looks like everyone's now done that pit stop with Matthew Hill and Scott Fontaine rounding off the field.
Fabian is still out there. Michael Fabian he's 16 seconds up in front of Madison Downs, so he's leaving it quite late. It's going to be lap 15 when he crosses the line this time by, and it'll give him 10 laps to go, so maybe he's thinking about less fuel. Have a look at this battle. Back here, Justin Ruggier, Scott McLaughlin. I wonder if Team Orders may come into play, because obviously Scott's not in the running for the championship this season. He's missed the first few rounds of the championship, but Justin obviously got his eye on the prize as the season goes on. But looks like Ruggier's got his hands full there.
Yeah, and you got to say it's a little bit weird saying battle between McLaughlin and Ruggier would normally be they're in the top 5. They're battling for 13th and 14th position at the moment.
Yeah, that obviously resulted, Justin got that contact with Muggo and unfortunately got a penalty, but Scotty's not doing not too bad of a job considering he didn't even qualify. Started 22nd in this race, so up there in 14th, not a bad job.
Got Renz Brookman 5th place at the moment, just slowly tracking down Josh Muggleton.
Now this is more the area where we're used to seeing Renz, isn't it? Sort of fighting in the top 5 up for normally in P1, but probably a little bit further down the order than he's used to, but doing a good job, and his pace doesn't look too bad over Muggo at this stage.
Yeah, he's doing a great job out there, you know, limited practice. I've had a lot of talks to him over the last week. He's sort of just going through a phase I think we all go through at time. A little bit burnt out. He's been running the McLaren pretty solidly and sort of just lacking the motivation at the moment, and so he's out there having a bit of fun, which is, you know, the main thing, and hopefully we can see him back full time in this series next season.
It's the one thing you love about Iracing. Although our V8 Supercar Championship is next to none, you know, there's so many great championships out there that you can find yourself racing through the week. So I can understand he's been a little bit burnt out, but he's doing a great job so far. How's Latham's form? He's definitely got his hands full there. Looks like Sean Kelly all over the back of him.
Yeah, those two are teammates as well, so they probably don't want to run into each other. They'll have a long debrief with the team boss later on tonight.
It's the last chat anyone wants to have with the team, isn't it? When you have contact with your teammate.
Yeah, it's never a good chat after the race if you've had a bit of contact with your teammate, but you know, it's racing that happens.
So lap 15, Fabian is in the pits. Michael Fabian has decided to hit pit lane. Probably not a bad idea. It's a long way to go without that splash of fuel. So this will hand the lead once it all cycles through back to Madison Down, and Val Ritchie's will be in P2. But Michael Fabian stayed out quite a long time, didn't he, compared to everyone else?
Oh, he's overshot his pit box as well. Oh no, that's going to cost him about 2 seconds. He come in and just overshot it.
I'm not going to pay out too much on him because I actually did that myself in the earlier race. So easy to do, but unfortunately he'll just lose a couple of seconds there. It was a quick stop, so I think he's just done fuel.
Yeah, it's looking where he's going to come back out now. It's looking like he's going to be out behind Brad Ryan. That puts him in about 7th or 8th position. And I've got to say, pulling into your pit box always, it seems like a simple task, but it's so easy to overshoot. I've done it before in the V8, and I gave up the lead in the Daytona 500, overshot my box on the weekend, so probably can't get stuck into him too much.
Positions as they start to cycle through. Now pit stops are done, running one, and it's Madison Down over Vale Ritchie's. Back to Josh Muggleton in 3rd, but hasn't got things his own way. He's got Renz Brookman right behind him, battling out for 4th. Then it'll be Shane Van Gisbergen in 5th after that unfortunate contact he had with George Maris. That's put Maris quite far down the order now, but it'll be John Emerson in 6th, Brad Ryan 7th, Richard Hampstead 8th, John Latham 9th, and Sean Kelly will round out your top 10.
You got to wonder if the damage on the front right of Muggleton's actually affecting him at the moment, because it was a pretty solid hit. I mean, he launched the rear of Ruggy's car right off the ground in the pit lane, so I wonder if that front right damage that he's carrying right there is slowing him down at the moment.
Yeah, definitely something to think about. It's not hard to disrupt these cars and have a bit of damage, and it can cause you a fair bit of grief. These guys won't be stopping again.
Nice battle back here with Sean Kelly, McLaughlin, Ruggy and John Latham just up ahead.
Oh, how's the movement on Kelly's thing? That's really moving around. He's got McLaughlin all over him. Ruggy managed to get past him, but Scotty's got his hands full now trying to get past that V8 Supercar Falcon.
It's looking like he's struggling with tyres at the moment, so I'm not sure if he's gone out there and gone a little bit too hard early. I know, you know, when you get fresh green tyres, it's real. McLaughlin has a look up the inside. It's really nice when.
Yeah, nice. He'll get up the inside. Oh, is that Maris behind as well? So he loses 2 spots. Nice pick up there from Maris just to follow Scotty through.
That was a fantastic move there by Maris. I was just got a replay now.
he just slides straight in behind Scotty and grabs that advantage. Nice little picker.
Yeah, as I was saying, Kelly's struggling with tyres there. I wonder if, you know, he's gone out there, and we all know that, you know, when you get green fresh tyres, you want to push because it feels so great after you've done a couple laps on on your old set. So I wonder if you maybe just burnt through them a little bit too fast. Richard Hampstead, Michael Fabian now coming into the boot.
Oh, coming off exit, nice and close. Will he look up the inside? No, he just thinks better of it, just decides to wait for a bit of opportunity, but the Hammer hasn't lost it. We're just not used to seeing him this far back in the grid, but looks like he's a little bit pacey, but don't forget, looks like I think Fabian didn't take tyres in that pit stop, may have just got a splash of fuel, so maybe tyres won't be such an advantage here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd expect Fabian to run around the likes of Ryan at the moment, but if he did take tyres, then I thought it actually might be hurting a little bit more than these guys.
As George Maris trying to start his way through the field after that unfortunate contact with Shane Van Gisbergen, and he's now all over the back of Scott McLaughlin. And Scotty hasn't probably done too many laps through the week, didn't even qualify for this race, but Maris, we've seen his pace throughout the week, qualified really well and was battling up front, but he's looking quite racy here at the moment.
Rens Brookman now still all over the back of Muggleton. Just dropped off a little bit there on that last lap.
So many great battles up and down through the field. Don't know where to look, but looks like Maris on McLaughlin. Oh, he just sideways. Yeah, and this will get the run up the inside. Scotty tries to hold the position, but he hasn't got a chance. Maris will fire up the inside.
Job done as well. What a pass!
Can they pull it up? No contact. Oh, nearly. So close. Sean Kelly right in the thick of it as well.
What a pass by George Maris. He hit the fence up the hill. McLaughlin got sideways. He got the run. Wow, that was some intense stuff there into the bus stop.
I don't think Madison's hit that part of the fence, so we might have to rename it Maris's fence.
Tell you what, he was almost off the grass down that back straight to the bus stop.
That's the opportunity you've got to grab when it shows itself. If you've got a little sniff up the inside, you've got to make sure you can get the job done, but you've got to be able to pull it up at the same time.
Go back to live now.
Look at this battle up front. Madison down Vale Richies. They've got a 10-second margin back to third place Josh Muggleton. These guys are absolutely walking away with it up front.
Vale's really got some pace this week. I mean, he's always fast, but he just seems to really be on Madison's level today. I mean, obviously Emerson got a win last week, and maybe Vale now wants to step it up with Richard and John now winning races. So.
Yeah, I think Emo got in his ear and said, look, mate, if I can win, why can't you? We're in the same equipment. These guys are doing a really good job, but there's been no doubt of Vale's pace over the months. Definitely a good steerer, but he's slowly just starting to peg at that margin between him and Madison.
The gap's only 8 tenths at the moment, but as you said, they've got 10 seconds back to third, so doing a fantastic job up there at the moment.
Now, Rens is looking pacey. We said that he'd be pretty keen to get this job done on Muggleton, but looks like they're both holding their own. I'm not quite sure if Rens has got anything for him. The guys have to be wary. There's still about 5.5 laps to go at this point of the race, but if they didn't take tyres, they'd be all a bit second-hand at the moment, but the guys have got what they got, and they just have to sort of see what they can do, but it looks like he may be just slowly pegging that little bit of margin on Muggleton.
Richard Hampstead now looking at Michael Fabian. I have to say that Fabian definitely didn't take tyres in that pit stop, otherwise he would have had a lot more pace at the moment than he does. I mean, he's still got pace out there, but obviously not driving away from these guys who pitted quite a bit earlier.
Yeah, probably not a bad, it was a pretty smart move, I was actually trying to say, on Fabian's behalf, because the gamble was to stay out and short pit for fuel, and looks like it's going to pay off not too bad, because he finds himself in, 8th position at the moment, so the possibility of 7th, because Brad Ryan's just the next car in front.
And just while we got a quick second, I wanted to bring up next week, we're going to be at the famous Spa for the first endurance race of the season, I believe. And nice little change next week, Sam, man, with using a different, I guess same layout, but a different starting position. I think it's going to be quite interesting watching everyone come up through Eau Rouge for the first lap, first corner.
You're not wrong. There's always a little bit of spice thrown in every now and then, so it's actually good because there's so many guys that are so used to the different layout. But it's good that they've changed the starting grid, so really will make things interesting.
Yep.
How's this battle back here, Latham and Ruggier? Just got the job done as he fired into the early turn of the S's, turn 2. Nice move up the inside by Ruggier, but plenty of give and take there by John Latham. Nice bit of driving by both of them.
Now Latham's doing a good job at the moment, just now being demoted to 11th, but you know, he's really running up there with likes of Ruggier and Maris and McLaughlin, which would you know, maybe do a bit of confidence after having a bit of a race with them for a couple of laps.
That's exactly right. You find yourself anywhere near the top 10 in the top split, it's not a bad day's effort. So although John would be a little bit disappointed that Ruggier got past, he's still doing a really, really good job. But definitely got his hands full now because Maris is all over the back of him.
Yeah, Maris isn't afraid to have a bit of a dive here, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to have a look, will he?
Oh, not quite, not this turn. It won't be long though. Maris's pace has been quite good. We touched on the unfortunate incident with him and Van Gisbergen, but he's put that behind him now and he's all over the back of Latham, just trying to crack inside the top 10.
Oh, Latham gets sideways coming out of the boot there. Everything down at turn 1, if you get a good run out of this final corner, he'll have a dive. He's close, got to make sure he gets the power down nicely here.
Yeah, it needs to set him up on exit. So far so good. Try and get some sort of sniff of that draft as they come down the front straight. Needs to be a fraction later under brakes. He gets the car positioned, has a look up the inside. Will he get the job done? No, Latham just shuts the door. Says you're going to have to look a little bit harder than that, buddy, if you want the job. But Maris really all over the back of him.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time now. I wonder if Maris will try a big bonsai move into the bus stop again. He did it good last time on McLaughlin. Just looking further up front at the moment, Val Richards is really starting to close up on Madison Down. It's down to only half a second now.
Yeah, lap 21 of 25. Wonder if Madison's got any dramas on board or whether he's just sort of, you know, just taking it easy. But I think Vale seems to be the paciest out of these two.
Muggleton Brooklyn battle still going back there for third and fourth.
Oh, back
Hampstead.
Hammer trying to get up the inside. Will he get the job done? Side by side.
It's like he's it looks like Fabian just got on the brakes a bit earlier there.
So Hammer will pick up that position now. Brad Ryan's got to look in his mirror and worry about the fast approaching Hampstead because he's slowly picking them off one by one.
Further back, George Maris has actually got the job done now on John Latham.
Yeah, nice bit of driving. It was only a matter of time. It looked like he had probably the fresher tyres out of the two, and he's just getting on with it now. But that's actually opened up that little bit of margin, unfortunately, to Ruggier. And George will have his work cut out if he's going to try and close that margin before the race is out. And don't forget, while you're watching this race, to have a think about who you think is the best and fairest driver throughout this race. And don't forget, head over our website and check out our Facebook page where you can get the chance to vote for one of these guys to get a pass into the Race of Reality. And also by voting, you also go into the chance to win up a ticket to take part in Race of Reality. So it's definitely worth your while to have a shot at that amazing prize thanks to Race Centre, where you could get to drive an Aussie racing car around Homebush. A little further back in the field, Scott McLaughlin P13, Sean Kelly P14. Looks like they're just starting to drop off that pack where Latham and Maris are, but...
Just further up, we've got Richard Hampstead having a big look around the outside of Brad Ryan. Sorry, see man. It looks like it's all getting very interesting there as Brad got a bit of a slower run onto the boot.
Looking pacey though. Will he have a look up the inside here? He's not quite close enough. But like we think, I think the best part for him is if he just sets up Ryan coming onto the front straight and makes that dive up the inside at turn 1. That would be my guess. I love this view looking back from Brad Ryan. You can see Hammer just where he makes those little gains under brakes, slowly starts to pull him in. Now this is where Hampstead needs to get a good run. He hasn't quite got it. He's got a little bit of draft there, but not quite making up ground. But will he make a dive up the inside? He's probably a little bit far back. And he'll think better of it, just to sort of sit tight. But that'd be the best spot to get the pass done on Brad Ryan.
Tell you what, Val Richards is continuing to challenge Madison down there. The gap down to only 0.4 of a second.
It's lap 23 of 25, so Madison Down hasn't got things all his own way. That Tats.com Falcon has been pretty good all week. He's been happy with the balance, but Val Richards looks like he's definitely got the pace at the moment. Last lap round, it was Madison Down at 151.222 to Val Richards 151.105. So there's literally nothing in it, but Val Richards is just slowly picking that margin back.
It's going to be interesting with 2 laps to go now.
Hampstead hasn't given up on this battle with Brad Ryan. He knows that there's one more spot there for the taking. His car looks probably a little bit fresher over Ryan. Ryan's had a couple of weeks. Oh, he runs a little bit wide. Will he get the job done? He's looking up the inside. These guys have to get the power down, but really tricky to hold that inside tight line and feed on the throttle at the same time.
It looks like Ryan got a better run, but Hampstead's having a look. No, he's going to back out of it. He's all over the back of Brad at the moment.
I think his best spot is to get that run coming onto the front straight and dive up the inside of turn 1, but he needs to be closer, he needs to set him up. Looks like Ryan's just struggling a little bit there with tyres, he's just drifting a little bit wide.
Talking about being on the back of someone, Val Richards again takes out time from Madison Down. The gap's down to 0.3 of a second. We've got 2 laps to run here at Watkins Glen. And Vale is really pushing now to try to get his very first win and mirror what his teammate did last week. Got one of the best, got the best in the business though right in front of him. Although Madison has been known to come a crop around the walls of Watkins Glen.
Oh, Hampstead hasn't given up on this battle with Ryan. There's too many good battles up and throughout this field. Can the Hammer get the job done up the inside? No, Ryan covers.
He's got the draft though coming up the hill now.
It's a brave spot. It's hard to get the job done coming into the bus stop. Brad Ryan covers. He knows the Hammer's there.
Oh, look at him close up under brakes.
That's as close as you want to get coming into the bus stop. These guys get plenty of give and take, but Brad Ryan, who's been out for a couple of weeks, he's definitely got his hands full with Hammer. He's all over the backflip.
So well, it's hard to take miles off this front battle at the moment though, with about a lap and a half to run. Val Richards is all over the back of Madison Down still.
Yeah, as good as that battle is back there, I think this one up front we really need to keep an eye on, because there's coming into the last lap, like you said, Val Richards has been, I think that got out to about 1 or 2 seconds there at one stage. It's now into 0.3, 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We have to keep our eyes on this one here. It looks like Madison got a better run through the back half of the circuit. As they come around the final time now, Madison's got a bit of a gap. He gets sideways though. They got 5.42 kilometres left to run here at Watkins Glen. Will Madison hit the fence or spin in the last corner like he does in the past? Will Vale get his first win?
No, put the Mozzers on down. He won't be happy about that, but he's only got one more lap to go. 12 turns around Watkins Glen Boot. The first time the V8s have been here for a little while, but he's doing everything right. The Tats.com Falcon has been up front from the start, but he hasn't had things his own way. Vale Richards has been there all race long. It's just slowly trying to peg that time off down.
So it looks like Madison got 2 tenths back on that last lap, so maybe just that comfort margin that he needs. Look at Vale, he's on the limit into the bus stop and trying to close that margin up. He's done a very good job to pull it up there. Absolutely on it, these two at the moment. They've got the gap out to 11.7 seconds back to Moulton. Got about half a lap to run now. I don't know if Vale's close enough just yet.
Yeah, it's hard enough. We've seen it all race long. It's just hard enough to get the job done, even if you're right up close behind someone, just to get that car position to pass. It's pretty tricky. He's only got just under half a lap to go. Vale Ritchie's trying to hunt down your race leader, Madison Down. These guys have only got a few turns to go, but Ritchie's has not given up.
Got a little bit sideways there. They've got about a quarter of a lap now to go. I don't think he's going to be close enough, but a mistake can still happen. We've seen Madison spin at the last corner about a year or two ago now, so I hope he doesn't do that, because then it'll be all my fault for bringing it up again. But they come out of the boot now for the final time. Madison runs a little bit wider. Might be just running that double apex as you mentioned earlier. Got 2 corners to run. Looks like Madison Down's going to get there. So close to Vale Riches though. He's done such a great job all race.
Madison Down comes into the last turn. He's been pressured all race long, but the Tats.com Falcon will come out of the last turn here at Watkins Glen for round 4 and take the win over Vale Ritchie's. What a race to the end.
Fantastic race. We've got, looks like Josh Muggleton's also going to hold on for 3rd place over Renz Brookman.
This battle hasn't stopped though back here. Hammer right in the thick of things. He's got Brad Ryan there. They're battling for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Brad Ryan, Richard Hampstead, Michael Fabian and Ruggie has come right into the battle.
Looks like Ryan's going to hold on to the position after a solid drive there, holding off defending champ Richard Hampstead. Comes to the line to pick up 7th, Hampstead 8th, Fabian 9th, and hasn't Ruggie done a great job to come back 10th after that pit lane penalty.
We're getting reports Kelly's had a spin coming on the front straight.
Oh, I think he's stuck in the fence. No, he's got it going, but he's going to throw away a couple of spots there.
Unbelievable.
Oh. Matthew Hill as well there, drag racing Marty Atkins to the line. What a finish to this race. Sam Collins now wraps it up in the last car. Do you know what? Something's happened to Cal Watmore in the last lap too.
Yeah, Cal across the line, 19th position. Not quite sure what happened there. What a race.
Well, I did those last few laps really just turn it on.
You talked about some drivers, you almost put the Mozzers on Down, saying that Down had spun coming out of the last turn, but that's unfortunately happened just so close to the finish line, and a spin just coming out of that last turn would be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many positions Sean Kelly threw away, but it was definitely a couple there with John Latham, McLaughlin, Karina, Atkins and Hill all got past him.
So we'll quickly go through the order. What a race at Watkins Glen. Round 4 of the Iracing V8 Supercar Championship. Your winner for today, Madison Down in the Tats.com Falcon over Vale Ritchie's Josh Muggleton in 3rd, Renz Brookman in 4th, Shane Van Gisbergen in 5th, John Emerson in 6th, Brad Ryan 7th, Richard Hampstead comes home for 8th place, Michael Fabian in 9th, and Justin Ruggier will round out your top 10. Looks like teammates there helping each other out. Muggo just giving a little bit of a nudge there to his teammate. Maybe Madison's cut it a little bit short on fuel. Nice bit of sportsmanship from his teammate. We'll quickly run through the order while we watch that. After your top 10, 11th place, George Maris, unfortunate contact with him and Shane Van Gisbergen. John Latham in 12th, Scott McLaughlin, good charge from last on the grid to finish in 13th. It's Michael Karina in 14th, Matty Atkins 15th, Matty Hill in 16th, Sean Kelly 17th, Samuel Collins in 18th, Cal Watmore 19th, Scott Fontaine in 20th. In 21st, it was Robert Hartley, 22nd, Mitch McLeod, and in final position, 23rd, Richie Stanley. Well, didn't that have a bit of everything?
Oh, what a race from the start. We had an action with cars spinning and through the pack with the pit stops off. So I really love these pit stop races. It's so much better than the fuel saving with the strategy. Really, showing at the end with some guys with fresh tyres, some guys on older tyres. But thought we've been joined by Matthew Hill as well, who Hilly, unfortunate mate to get spun around in that first lap.
Yeah, no, it was unfortunate accident. I mean, these things happen. I probably should have left Mitch a bit more room, but I was lucky to keep it off the wall there. I was counting my lucky stars. I didn't bin it properly.
Yeah, I'd say, well, mate, when we saw you spin around, we were just hoping that none of the cars coming flying past would T-bone and collect, and we've seen a few major accidents going up that hill and past, so...
Oh, you were hoping, man. I was hoping as well, I can tell you.
Mate, how did you go coming into this week? Your thoughts on running the boot for Watkins Glen? It was a nice little change.
Yeah, I actually really loved the layout. I mean, probably one of the worst parts is the bus stop, but probably one of the areas I made up the most time from my competitors I was racing with in that race. So, do love the longer version. It definitely adds a couple more overtaking positions, and it's a little bit wider, really fast and flowing. It's yeah, I really enjoyed that track.
Well, join us in the commentary box now, our race winner for round 4 at Watkins, Glen. Brilliant drive, Madison down. You didn't have things all your own way towards the end there, mate.
Yeah, Vale had amazing car speed in that race. I'm just looking at the results page now, and his average lap time was actually quicker than mine in that race. So, yeah, mirrors were completely full at the end of that one. I just had to try and not make a mistake, and luckily we came away with the win.
Now, can we say the Mozza from Watkins Glen is off here now?
Yeah, finally won one, eh? It took a track layout change, but we got there.
Also got Josh Muggleton, 3rd place. Good race tonight, mate. A bit unfortunate with the accident with Ruggier coming into the pit lane, but solid run to finish 3rd there with Renz right behind you.
Yeah, no, nothing unfortunate about that. I stuffed up, and really sorry to Justin and the boys at ANZ. I was too eager coming in the pits, tried to make up too much time, and ruined his race, unfortunately. So yeah, not happy about that one.
Nice bit of team sportsmanship. Maybe Madison Down ran out of fuel at the end, just a little bit of a bump back home, is that right?
Oh yeah. The only time I can get near him these days in the race, unfortunately, so may as well give him a nudge while I'm there.
And your thoughts on this layout? Certainly different to the Cup layout that we're normally used to.
Yeah, I like it. It's a bit more technical, but it's still nice and fast and flowing. It suits this car really well, so yeah, I like it. It's good. Bring it on next season as well.
Also joining us in the commentary box, someone you're very familiar with, Corey, Renz Brookman, mate. Renz, you had a great little battle with Muggo for most of that race.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Unfortunately, he was a little bit too quick for me, though. Every time I came a little bit closer, he gained a little bit again. So couldn't really fight with him, but it was good fun.
Now, not much track time, we believe, for yourself coming into this round. There was reports maybe you weren't going to race. It was good to see you out there, mate.
Well, I'm actually sort of taking this season off, but I just have to join the races because it's just way too much fun to miss out on.
Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. It's good to have you, and we're probably not used to seeing you a little bit further down the pack there, mate, but it was good to have you out there.
Yeah, it was good fun, and yeah, good racing as always.
Now, also joining us in the commentary box, we haven't spoken to him for a little while. He's been abroad. Brad Ryan in the V8 Supercar fan group Falcon, mate. He brought it home in 7th place. Not a bad job considering you spent a bit of time away.
Yeah, the car's a bit different to get used to, that's for sure, but pretty lucky in the end. Had a couple of great battles with the TCL guys, but yeah, just trying to get used to the car again and see what it does in the race. It's my first race run, so, but that's pretty positive so far.
It can be a tricky thing, can't it? I mean, some people think it's just a game, and you get in and you turn some laps and you stop and you go and you turn and you shift a gear. But when you're away from it for a little while, it's not as easy to jump in and be as quick as you once were. It takes maybe a week or so just to sort of get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, that's it. I've been watching most of the broadcast while I was away, and sort of seeing the updates and everything. But until you actually drive it, you don't see how much it's changed. But I think it's pretty good. It's just trying to work out what these other guys are doing, or if it's just me that's not driving fast enough. But it's pretty positive, and see what me and Sean and John can get up to throughout the week.
Well, that almost wraps things up. Just one more final plug for that fantastic competition run by Race Centre, the Race to Reality. Don't forget your chance for everyone who's viewing at home to vote for one of tonight's best and fairest drivers. So don't forget to put in for your vote, and that also puts you in the draw to have a crack at that chance for that position on the grid for Racing Race to Reality. But I think someone who snuck in the box as well while I was chatting away was Justin Ruggier. Justin, mixed emotions tonight, mate. Obviously got that contact with Muggo in the pit lane.
Yeah, how are you guys? Firstly, well done to Madison. Great drive, and Val, what a great drive he's having this week. Well, on the Muggo too, he done well. It was just unfortunate, mate. It's just racing, you know what I mean? And I wasn't expecting it. He woke me up, that's for sure.
Yeah, we would have imagined that would have got your attention coming into pit lane.
Yeah, it did, but the car had to stay stationary because I ended up getting a speed infringement. So I'll be expecting a ticket next week, I'm sure. But yeah, just unfortunate, man. I think we didn't have the speed for Madison and Val, but I think maybe it would have played into our hands if we did get a good outlap and try and get that gap down a bit lower. But well, what do you do? That's racing, and I'm sure it wasn't intentional for Josh. It's just a mistake that he made, and we all make them.
And up until then, mate, said you weren't quite comfortable with the car. You weren't sort of real happy with the overall pace. But before that, P3, not too bad.
Yeah, it was a struggle this week. It's a shame that we couldn't get on top of the setup and get the car as quick as what Madison and Val did. But look, you win some, you lose some, and I'm sure that hopefully next week we'll bounce back and try and beat them.
Well, next week, I won't even bother talking to Madison about next week, but next week, Spa, mate, hopefully you can peg some back there for that one. Should be good fun.
Yeah, Spa's one of my favourite tracks, so I can't wait to go there. Bring it on.
All right, well, that just about does us for round 4. Thanks very much, boys, for joining us, and thank you, Corey, for slipping into the commentary box. Poor Jay, feeling a little bit unwell. We decided to give him an early night, tuck him in, have a little Bex and a lie down, and put some Vaporub on his chest, and he's probably fast asleep now. So we appreciate you jumping in, Corey.
Yeah, no dramas. It was a great race to commentate on. Hopefully, Jay's better for next week and can jump back in the box, because I'm planning on maybe having a bit of a crack at Spa next week. So we'll see how we go.
Thanks very much, mate, and thanks for all the drivers for joining us after the race too. We much appreciate your time. It was a really great race, and can't wait for Spa. But before we take off again, don't forget to keep an eye on our website page and Facebook page, where you will get the chance to vote on one of tonight's drivers for the best and fairest. It's the best and fairest viewer poll, and by placing your vote, you also go into the chance of grabbing one of those spots on the grid for your chance for the Race to Reality. Great program for you to get a chance at having a drive in an Aussie racing car at Homebush. It's really a brilliant promotion, and we thank everyone at Race Centre for putting it on. Brilliant thing. All right, well, that's it. I'm Stephen Sandman. Clarke, thanks for joining us. We appreciate everyone tuning in each and every week. No doubt tonight's action didn't let us down, but it's going to be a great race next week at Spa. Really looking forward to it. But our thanks to everyone at Extreme Sim Gear, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercar Fan Group. Your winner for round 4 at Watkins Glen, Madison Down.